Hey Watch fam, thank you for clicking on another video and welcome back to the channel. This is the 2025 State of the Collection video. So how I will be entering 2025 with this year collection. Every year when I do a State of the Collection video, I try to do something a little bit different. So of course I'm going to primarily focus on new acquisitions. As always, I'm trying to get more and more efficient and streamlined with these videos. So I'm going to try to review about 30 watches in just about 30 minutes. So enough of that being said, we're going to dive in and jump into this year's State of the Collection. All right, watch fans, so we will go ahead and get started. And first up, I want to talk about a very important wrist watch of mine. This is my Bulova. I don't remember the reference number, but I got this watch 16 years ago. My wife got it for me when we got married. This was the first name brand watch and the first watch I bought from an AD. You can see that I don't have a battery in it right now. I don't wear it a lot, but I usually wear it a couple times a year as my collection has grown. This is one that will definitely stay in the collection forever. All right, so I'm going to start off by diving in and talking a little bit about the divers in my collection. First up is the Seiko Save the Ocean. I picked this up in the beginning of this year, early 2024, and just got a really amazing deal on it. I like the color of this dial. I think this blue dial is very unique, and I hadn't had anything in the collection that matched this color. I also love the bracelet, probably my favorite Seiko bracelet so far. And then they did a really great job with this recycled NATO strap, which is how I usually find myself wearing this one. So just a beautiful timepiece. And I love that this has a ceramic bezel. I don't have a lot of watches with more modern ceramic bezels, and this one is just really, really smooth. So really great job by Seiko. Really enjoyed wearing this piece. This one has been in the collection for just about 4 months and marks the birth of my grandson, Kyle. And I got this because these colors, his name is inspired by Superman's kryptonite name, Kal-El. I hope I'm saying that right. But I really like this piece. This is the Oris Upcycle Edition, so another Save the Ocean style watch. I really like these, and I wanted to find one that was a little bit more tame, and I was able to do that by finding one with a lot more blue in the dial. This is just an incredible piece with an integrated bracelet that I really, really enjoy wearing, and really gives another pop of color to the diver part of my collection. So this year was a lot about picking up some affordable pieces and adding a few memorable pieces. Wasn't expecting to buy this, but earlier this year, a good friend of mine got married, and we were at his reception, and he was selling this as he was moving across the country. And I thought, what a great way to commemorate my friend's wedding by buying his watch. So this is my Seiko Captain Willard. This was a watch that I had been looking for a long time. Let me rephrase that. I was not looking for it, but one that I had thought about adding to the collection and hadn't got around to doing so. I really love this olive green dial color with that pop of red. And I primarily wear this on this green and yellow Erica original strap. So if you know me, you know I am a JLC fanboy. This is my favorite diver in the collection, one that I didn't have for a while. I had to send it out for service, and it was gone for about 4 months this year. And this is my JLC or JLC Navy Seals Diver. These are limited to 1,000 pieces and obviously not made anymore, but a ceramic bezel. These came out in 2012. I do have a video about this watch on the channel, and again, that's an incredible diver. I recently picked up a black and red Erica's original strap to wear this on, but the black bracelet this comes on is just amazing as well, and is by far my favorite diver, my favorite daily diver, where I just grab and go, because I can literally wear this with anything, and it is so low key. I love the stealth look of this particular piece. Next up is my JLC tribute to Polaris 1968 with the alarm. I love this particular variant of this watch. You do know that JLC came out with a more recent variant, and it has sapphire and a lot more updated specs. This one was released in 2008 and designed to match the original. And actually, this is a little bit more rare than the original, as there's only 700 of these made. I really, really enjoy wearing this watch, and I recently picked up a rib strap from Barking Jack that I think pairs really great with that yellow. It'll probably be worn as yellow NATO for a while. This watch is a little bit on the thicker side because of the dome plexiglass, The case itself is about 15 millimeters thick because of the alarm, and then the dome plexiglass adds another 1.5 millimeters. However, for some reason, it sits pretty well adjusted in my wrist and doesn't wear its dimensions. I just really enjoy this JLC diver, and I would love to pick up the whole tribute to Polaris and tribute to deep sea lineup over the years. Next up was a watch that I added in the middle of last year that I still haven't gotten around to a review for. If you were listening to the State of Collection from a while ago, this was a watch that I have been thinking about adding, and this is the original Omega Planet Ocean, the one with the 2500 movement. I think this is the best Planet Ocean, given that it's a little bit thinner than the rest. I just really love this look, and now that this watch is starting to age a little bit, you get a little bit of green on the luminescence on the hour markers, but just a really incredible diver. And again, I just really love the case dimensions on this one. So that is it for the divers. To round out a few pieces in this roll, it's not a diver, but I put it here because it does have an adjustable bezel. This is my Oak and Oscar Humboldt GMT, one of my other favorite daily wearers. I just really love this watch. I primarily wear it on the bracelet, surprisingly, as much as I love the leather straps that Oak and Oscar make. And I also have an orange NATO strap that I wear this on. But this is a really incredible piece. I really do love this GMT. I love the sandwich dial. I wish that the numerals were loomed, but it is pretty cool just to see the center circle loomed on these. These are really cool. And if you're not familiar with Oak and Oscar, this is an American independent brand out of Chicago. Next up, it's a pretty cool, funky watch. This is my Dietrich DD1. This one has been in a collection now for a couple years. If you want to look cool, you buy an AP. If you want to be cool, you buy this watch. I just think this watch is really cool. It is very unique. There's no fuss, and there's really nothing else like it on the market. There's very rare that we see innovation at this price point. So not that these are really affordable. They're under $2,500, and that's quite a bit of money to spend on an unknown brand, especially something that looked this unique. But I was itching for something that had like this, I don't know, almost futuristic vibe that didn't break the bank. And this has allowed me to explore a different case shape that I didn't think I would like, that I actually quite enjoy. My kids actually really think this is probably my coolest watch. I have 3 straps for this. I primarily wear it on this gray canvas strap. It's a really thick strap unique to this watch, but I also have an all black and a brown that it looks great with as well. This is new to the collection, and I don't know if I would have done the video on this by this time or not, but this is my Notice Trail Checker. I recently just added this to the collection, or I just received it. This one recently just arrived. It comes on a really cool bracelet with Notice's proprietary adjustment system, which is really great. However, I have primarily worn it on this yellow rib strap from Bark & Jack, or that olive green NATO strap that I have the Seiko on. This is really a cool watch, very unique. It's almost like Rolex and Bamford teamed up again, but instead we get Notice and Raven, 2 American watch brands that is doing some really killer work. This one, I've actually been wearing this one quite a bit lately, as I really enjoy the aesthetic on this one. Next up is the watch that I got for my 35th birthday. So this watch is a little bit over 5 years. And then I dropped it last year. I haven't got it out for service. As you can see, my chrono hand is gone. But this is my Frederic Constant flyback chronograph. Again, these actually are really exceptional value if you can find them. Retail for about $3,400. I love this dial on this. Just a really cool chronograph, and the fact that we get a flyback chronograph at this price point. I typically like round pushers, but it's something about the way this dial lay out with the high contrast on the minute track that makes square pushers feel really appropriate. And again, you get a flyback mechanism. Full transparency, I wear this watch even with the chronograph hand missing, as I really enjoy this one. That's why I've had a really hard time sending it off for service, as this is one of my favorite chronographs. I'm not saying it is my favorite, but it's an easy one for me to wear. I love it on this blue strap, and I've also worn it on the olive green strap quite a bit, but I do need to send this off really soon to get service. Next up is probably the most versatile watch in my collection, and this is the Junghans Max Build Chronoscope. This watch doesn't need any introductions. A little bit of a thicker watch. I want to say it's just under 15 millimeters thick, but that is because it is domed sapphire crystal. That sapphire crystal is amazing. This is a silver dial. It shows up white in most lights. So if you're looking for a silver dial watch that gives you a lot of different light contrast, almost a shimmering in most lights, you're going to love the Young Hans. I love this clean dial. They do it better than an IWC, in my opinion, where you get to see all the numerals, no cutoff numerals, and this is done in the Bauhaus design language, again, which is just really, really incredible. Next up, a watch that needs no introductions, and this is the JLC Duomet. This is the OG version in 18 karat yellow gold, so not the rose gold version. And I just really love this watch. These were limited to 300 pieces. I don't wear this obviously every day. It's a little bit on the heavier side. This was my grill watch for the longest time, and I do not regret it. Just flipping it over, and I mean, look at that. Just really, really unbelievable craftsmanship from my favorite watch brand, JLC. I've been wearing on this blue lizard skin strap, which I just think is an incredible pairing and really allows the blue chronograph hand to stand out and give you an excellent pop. This is a watch collector's watch, which if you see my collection, you can tell that I am an avid collector. But this is just, again, I think one of the greatest watches ever made. You have two barrels, or so two different power reserves, one for the chronograph and one for the time, which improves the accuracy greatly on this timepiece. So my overall favorite watch in my collection, still to this day, just because what this means, this is my Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris chronograph in blue. I think this is just the best blue dial on the market. You get 3 different styles of finishing. This was the first watch that I bought from JLC. I bought this from an AD, which meant a lot to me. At the time, it was something that I had dreamed about, and I watched a commercial for this about 13 times. And this was the watch that introduced me to the brand. So this watch has been in my collection. It'll almost be 6 years, coming up here really shortly, and definitely one of the longest lasting watches in my collection. I used to be known as a flipper, and when I bought this watch, it kind of really slowed down my buying and trading, as I wanted to hold on to pieces a lot longer. But really love this watch. My favorite Blue Watch Monday watch. I wear it a ton, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to send it off for service. It has an 8-year warranty, and it is coming up to that point where it's just not running as smooth as it once did, and I would love for it to get another 10 years. This will definitely be in my collection for a really long time. Next up, a watch that needs no introduction. This is my Speedmaster Professional. Mine is the Hesalite crystal, so no sandwich dial or sapphire case back. I've had this in the collection for about, again, just a little bit under 5 years. Picked this up right before COVID, and you can't really go wrong with a Speedy. I had several different Speedmasters in my collection, and several different Omegas in my collection, and for some reason, I avoided the Speedmaster because it was just a common watch. It was a watch that I really loved, but so did everybody else. And I finally got over myself and said, you know what, I'm going to buy what I love. And if I see another person wearing a Speedy, I'll be glad, and we'll just take a wrist shot together. But this is, again, one of the most versatile chronographs on the planet, and obviously has so much street cred because it went to the moon. So I recently picked this up to celebrate a milestone at work. I recently got a different assignment, and I'm super, super excited about it. I'm going to have so much more time at home with my family. And I was debating on if I was going to end the year with a bang or do something that was a little bit more humbling. And I decided to buy this Oak & Oscar. I was not aware that Oak & Oscar released a chronograph 6 months ago, but when I did, I immediately started doing my research. And again, they do not disappoint. If you're a fan of the channel, you know I'm a big fan of Oak & Oscar. Their headquarters is here in Chicago, so United States. I talked about them a little bit when I talked about the Humboldt. I really, really, really love what they're doing, and I love what they did with this chronograph. 3 registers with no date, and this is the first chronograph they've done where we get the sandwich dial. It's also a flyback chronograph for under $2,500. You can get this on a bracelet or their leather strap. I immediately changed it out and put it on this really cool rally strap. But flipping this over, I mean, this is just a really, really incredible movement for the price. I think the only other watch you're going to get a flyback functionality in is probably this Frederic Constant at $3,300. Um, Again, incredible value on this one, and it just looks incredible. Next up, another cool chronograph. And again, not to throw any shots at IWC, because I do love the IWC brand. I just think their dimensions for a while got a little bit cattywampus. This is the Christopher Ward Typhoon. I've had this in the collection for a couple years. All black ceramic, so no PVD. The fact that Christopher Ward was able to deliver this for $2,200 about 7-8 years ago is really incredible. I love this large crown. This kind of scratched my big pilot itch for a while. And I just, again, love these little details that they put into this watch. So your chronograph registers are designed to look like jet engine turbines. Your chronograph second hand looks like a jet, which I think is pretty cool. So the whole second hand is like an elongated jet. And I love the rhodium plating on these hands. This is just a really, really cool watch. And I have been wearing it on this really cool rubber strap that I picked up from Amazon. Just a really great looking combo and a fun watch to wear. These usually come up very, very, or these usually are very affordable when they come up used. You can probably find one for under $1,000, $77.50 value movement. So if you get an opportunity to pick these up and it is $1,000, you will not be disappointed. This is an amazing chronograph at that price point. It was definitely an amazing chronograph when these came out. And if you don't know, Christopher Ward is exploding. They're taking the world by storm. So how cool would it be to own one of their original logos? So this is one that's probably not going to go anywhere. Just because I really love Christopher Ward, I plan to add a new one to my collection soon. But this is just vintage Christopher Ward that I think is really, really cool. Time only functions or three handers with a date, part of my collection, and just some pieces that's been in my collection for a while. So the SUF, I did a video on this a couple years ago, my favorite Salmon Dow watch, but this is a really fun watch to wear. I love the blue second hand, and I've worn this on a blue leather strap before. Right now it's on this green strap that I think looks incredible. I also think this is what it was on when I shot this video or shot my State of the Collection from a year ago. Next up, a watch that I don't think need any more introductions. This watch is becoming extremely popular, specifically since Patek released the Cubitus. But this is the Mito TV Big Date, the Mito Multi-Fort TV Big Date. Mito used the TV case shape back in the 70s, and they are bringing it back just like everybody else. So this definitely has some Nautilus or Aquanaut vibes. And now you could probably say a little bit Cubitus, but you get a big date on this. I love this TV screen dial, and they did a really good job just giving us something unique. I picked up the orange strap for this, which I think just is an incredible looking combo, but this is a really fun watch. I did have to have mine serviced, so if you haven't checked out that video, I'll drop a link to it here. And the good news is I had this watch back in about 6 weeks, so they were able to fix the big date issue without any problems. And I am confident I've heard correctly that they have fixed that issue going forward. So the big date issue has been corrected going forward. It is only going to be an issue on some of the older models, and Mito is fixing those without any charge relatively fast. 4 weeks was fantastic to have a watch back in my collection. A watch that need no introductions, and I would definitely say is in my top 5 of my collection. Part of my weekly wears is my Cartier Santos. When I picked this up, I didn't think that it would be such an easy wear or such a versatile watch. I thought I was a little bit more on the dressier side, but I'm glad I went with the large side, just given my style. It definitely gives the sports watch aesthetic, and I love that it's square. But the Cartier Santos, just really love this watch. It's probably my most complimented watch, as I don't have a lot of hype pieces in my collection or a lot of well-known pieces in my collection. This is definitely the one that stands out on the wrist. A little bit more obscure Cartier, and I love this strap. I picked this off Etsy, but this is a Cartier Calibre de Cartier. They also make this in a diver version. This is a 38 millimeter. They also come in a 42. I love the contemporary look of this and the broad lug width. So this is 22 millimeter lugs on an 18 millimeter watch, and it just gives it a very unique look. I actually think makes it wear a little bit bigger than the 38 case dimensions give it. It also is only 12 millimeters thick. So slides innermost, dress cuffs, just a really great looking watch. And I love this rose gold bezel. So you get this beautiful silver dial, and you have these beautiful blued hands that look fantastic with the Roman numerals. Cartier is no stranger to making fantastic watches. Next up, a watch that I think is extremely underrated, and that is the Jaeger-LeCoultre JLC 1958 Geophysic. I actually think this is just a perfect watch. No fuss, clean dial, 12, 3, 6, and 9 with the loom pips on the rehawk to really save the space. This is just a really great looking watch. 38 millimeters, 10.5 millimeters thin, or excuse me, 11 millimeters from a case thickness perspective, so not super thin. However, definitely wearable. This is a great, easily weekend watch that I love to just grab and throw in a lot of different straps. Currently on a ribbed NATO strap as well. I wear this on everything, and if I was to really think back, this is probably my most worn watch throughout the last couple years, as it is so easy for me to wear. And I just really love the clean aesthetic. Living here in DC, this just flies under the radar really nice. So if I'm taking a train, really just need to worry about the time. This is extremely accurate, and it does a good job for me. Next up on the list, another watch I added this year to the collection. And actually, I picked this up when I went to the District Time event. I met these folks from Little Treasure Jewelry in Hagerstown, Maryland, and they had this with them. I took a couple of pictures of it, did some research, and I just really like the way this looked. This is the Alexander Shurikoff Crazy Balls. Alexander Shurikoff is an independent watchmaker out of Germany. These are really, really just fascinating pieces. They make 88 in each color. There's one with a pink backdrop, and mine is the silver backdrop. But you get mother of pearl, you get brass, you get a lot of different funky things going on in this dial. And somehow, to me, it all works. It might look like a hot mess to a lot of people, but I wanted something that really spoke to my experience this year. And 2024 was a crazy year. So I thought this would be a great watch to kind of symbolize, the 2024 year. And I love the crazy ball design. This is literally art on the wrist. I did a video on this, not a lot of views, as I'm assuming this is probably not a watch that's searched for often, but what a great looking piece if you're looking for something a little bit more on the unique side. I'll be quick on this one. This is the OG Oak and Oscar, the one that started my fandom for that brand. This is the Oak and Oscar Burnham, 42 millimeters, so definitely wears a little bigger, 50 millimeters on a lug to lug. I actually just makes me think of those old railroad style watches. Great legibility on this. I love that you get to see all the looms, and then we get to see a sandwich dial, which is incredible. I need to send this one off for service too. I went to get around to doing it, and just a few things came up. I had to send quite a few watches off for service this year, so this one will be on the docket here really soon. Rounding out my core collection is the Fairer Endurance. This has been in the collection for, wow, 4 or 5 years, probably a little bit over 4 or 5 years, actually. I'm gonna probably say, I think I got this even before. No, yeah, so about 4 or 5 years. This is the original Fairer Endurance. The brand has been around for a long time, but I picked this one up off the forum when I was just trying to explore if this was a brand that I would love. And despite this being the only Fairer in my collection right now, I really do love the brand. Fairer is doing some amazing things, and they continue to put out some amazing pieces. This is just a vintage piece by them that I think looks incredible and highlighted what they were going to become. Back when they were still using a bronze crown, these are a little problematic as they've gotten a little stiff over time, so not the easiest to wind. However, I am not complaining, as I really do enjoy this particular timepiece. So for a couple watches that are not always in my watch box, this one is pretty cool. Another watch that I picked up from the District Time event. This is a SAR Bomba, a Richard Mille style watch. I didn't know how I would like the Richard Mille style watches or the Frank Mueller K-shape, and this has actually grown on me quite a bit. This one is a little bit on the larger side, so think the Vanguard 44 millimeters, 45 millimeters case width, going to be about 12 millimeters thick and 50 millimeters on the lug to lug. So you definitely got some good size on this. However, I love the way this looks. This is a lot of fun. These actually are modular designs, so you can pop these off. I have a green strap and bezel for it as well for when I want to change the aesthetic. These are pretty fun watches, and if you're looking to explore Richard Mille without spending Richard Mille money, and you don't know if that look is going to be for you, this is definitely a good watch to start with. I would probably add a Richard Mille to the collection now one day, as I really like this particular watch case and design. And for a couple watches that didn't make the core collection this year, if you've been around for a channel, this one is no stranger. This is my TAG Heuer 1000 Professional, left to me by a good friend, avid fisherman, Mr. Bill. Rest in peace, sir. But a watch that will always be in my collection. I primarily wear this on this blue and yellow NATO strap, and I really do enjoy wearing this. I wear it a couple times a year, and it's just a really cool watch. I hate that I got it on this yellow strap because I am an Ohio State fan. This is very Michigan related, which is probably why my team lost yesterday. Next up, a watch that needs no introduction, and this is the Citizen Tsuyoya. Cool, very cool watch. I love this. I have this beautiful yellow dial. These come in a lot of different colors, and Citizen right now is killing the affordable integrated bracelet game. They probably are doing some of the best integrated bracelet watches right now in the market for amazing prices, and they're covering every price point. This is a really cool watch I haven't got around to doing a video for, but one of the best affordable watches you can buy. If someone was telling me they were just getting into watchmaking, this would probably be my recommendation over a Seiko 5. I just really like the look. I like the design. And there's enough here to make this stand out as an independent watch on its own. And Citizen is doing some really great work right now. Next up, another emotional watch for me. This is my Seiko Presage with the Machta dial. Really great video I did on this one. I love this brown strap. This is how I've been wearing it lately. This was a gift from my team in South Carolina right before we moved up to the DMV area. And just like, I really, really miss my team down there. I miss South Carolina, and I do really miss wearing this watch. I haven't worn it in about a couple months, and it will probably get some wrist time here really, really soon. Next up, this is a pretty cool watch. I love wearing this. This is another integrated bracelet style watch, but this is the Timex Q. These came out, I don't know when they re-released these, about 8 years ago, and now you can find them in a lot of different colors. I had an automatic one. I got rid of that one pretty quick, as these are really cool because they are quartz models. I need to put a battery in mine. I do think these are really cool. I don't wear it often. As you can see, I need to put a battery in it. But when I want to wear something gold, I don't have a lot of gold in my collection. This is something that's fun, that's really inexpensive, and humbling to wear. I also love that you can track 2 time zones, which is pretty cool for a watch at this price point. And last but not least is the watch that probably see the most wrist time. This is my Apple Watch Ultra. Not going to go over a lot of details here, but just really do love my Ultra, accompanying me on my walk and talks, accompanying me on my runs. And yeah, I don't know what I would do without my Ultra. All right, so that is Itch Watch, fam. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all soon.